Hi, we'd like to welcome you to Wild Wednesday Live. This is kind of exciting. This is the week before we do our big show in Denver. So I want to remind you all to tune in next week, even though we're going to be in Denver. Tune in and we are going to do live broadcasting from the Denver show floor. So that's kind of exciting. Oh, we've got a couple of viewers. It's always kind of weird at first while people are logging on. But hello, Trisha from Steve Norma from San Marcos and Rondi from Livermore. Welcome. All right. I'm going to do a little bit of a roll call later on as more people join, but we are certainly glad that you guys are here with us. We have three great vendors today. We've got Suzanne from the Calico Cupboard, Barbara from Bella Mama's Biscotti, which I'm always excited about. I hear she's going to be live in Denver, so I'm going to make sure to stop by her booth and get some goodies. And then Linda Winter from Winter Designs will be here with us. So it's going to be super exciting. And oh, we've got lots of Arizona people. Make sure you guys have it on your calendars. We're going to be in Phoenix the first weekend in September. So we'll see you Arizona girls then. All right. Oh, all over. All right. Be sure to share with all of your friends right now so that they can join on. We will have some door prizes later. Suzanne has a selection of patterns. We have an assortment of goodies, some rectangle templates with fussy cut frames, and some square ups from Quilters Haven. So it's going to be an exciting show. I'm just going to turn it right over to Suzanne from the Calico Cupboard, who is going to be with us first. She does have a coupon code for 15% off of her to what she's going to be showing you. All right. Welcome, Suzanne.
Hi, everyone.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Perfect.
Can you hear me?
Perfect. I'm going to turn it right over. Yep, we can hear you. Perfect. I'm going to turn it right over to you. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to another Wild Wednesday Live from the Calico Cupboard. I'd like to share with you today a couple of techniques for using folded fabric to make pillows or wall hangings, table toppers, or quilts. The first one I'm going to start with is the Cathedral Window. And when I made my first cathedral window many, many years ago, it was done by hand. So although they were joined by machine, all this work around the window was done by hand. So for those of you who are intimidated a little bit by handwork, you can do this technique with your machine. And you can choose to do pillows like these two, or even a small one window size pincushion. So let's get started. Some of the supplies you're going to need are fabric, of course, and spray starch, and some fabric glue. The fabric amount of fabric you will need will be dependent on how big you want your blocks to be. These blocks were about 3 inches. These blocks were 2.5, and I'm going to show you with the sample that I've got going to use the technique. I used a 6-inch cathedral window block, and so the only thing you need to remember is the base block is 4 times as big as your window. So if your window's 2.5, your base block is 10 inches. For the sample I'm showing you today, my window block was 6 inches, and my base block then was 24 inches. So you want to start by, first I spray starch all the fabric even before I start cutting my squares, because it stabilizes a bit, keeps it from moving quite so much, makes your cutting much more accurate. So once you've got your square cut out, then you're going to fold it in half. So this is 12 inches here, and you're going to sew down each side here and here. And then you're going to take your block and open it up, but leave it right sides together, and then match your 2 center seams. I don't know if you can see it very well, but I've got a center seam here. Match those, nest them. So then when you open it out, it looks kind of like a wonton or something, kind of a weird shape, and you think, what is this? So pin it in place, and then start sewing from this edge over here, and you're going to sew past the center, stop right here, and then pick up right about here and sew to the end. You want to leave enough room so that you can put your hand in this opening. Then you're going to turn it right side out, And now I'm going to switch to my squares that I've already got going. So I'm going to tip this down so you can see what I'm doing here. So then you have a square that looks like this. You can see I have a square that looks like this. You're going to not worry about that opening that you turn through because it's going to get covered up. So at this point, you want to fold your tips into the center. So into the center seam, all four sides. And there would be a fourth one here, but I've already started the window for you. So there would be a fourth one in here. Then you're going to press. This gives you a stitching line. Press a line, open out, and then you'll have a crease. Take your marking pen and mark the line there, here, here, all around all four sides, because you're going to stitch these base blocks to each other using this line as your sewing line. So at this point, I would have another square here, and I would take my points and I would turn them both up, and I would match that line that I drew with the right sides together, and I would stitch that. And I would do that all the way across, however many blocks I wanted. Now this one had 4 blocks across. So I had 4 of those base things joined side to side all the way across. And then you're going to do the top and the bottom. So once you finished a row, then you need to join your rows together. So the row that's above this one, you're going to bring up those tips and sew them together along that line all the way across. That way you have all your rows, depending on how many rows you wanted. And I had 4 rows in that pillow that I showed you. Then you're going to fold your tips back in. So this tip goes this way, the tip that was here goes that way. This one comes in and this one comes in. At this point, you're ready to tack because you're going to have 4 points here meeting in the center. You want to tack those. And again, you can do this on the machine. You're going to use your bar tack stitch on your machine. Stitch left to right and top to bottom a couple of times each to kind of hold them in place. And it's okay, you're going to go through all the layers of your fabric. You're going to do that all the way across to all the squares and all the rows so that you've got those tacked in place. Then you're going to put your window fabric in. I'm going to take these pins out so you can see. So your window fabric lays in the middle, like this little girl here. And you're going to take the center of your side and pull it to the middle. And this is where you can either use your fabric glue or a pin. And you'll notice that it's wider here in the center of the window and tapers off to that point. But you want to be sure to catch in this little edge here, or you're going to have an edge open, a raw edge. So once you get all these points and bias edges in, secured, then you're ready to sew your edges in place. One more here. Your points are going to meet in the corners. Now you're ready to machine. I would do all of a row, and then you can just go one at a time. So you're going to start at one corner, and this is by machine, stitching right close, maybe about a 1/16 of an inch from the edge. And you're going to stitch all the way along that folded edge to the corner, continue around the next folded edge to the corner, catching in that little corner there, all the way around till you've got all 4 sides done. Then you're ready, and this one doesn't match, but you'll see where I'm going in a minute. Take your next window square and lay that down. And again, starting from the center, you're going to fold that in, going smaller at the corners until you have them all the way across. And once you've completed all your rows, you have all your windows, then you're ready to complete whatever project you've chosen. And as I said, this one happens to be a pillow, and you can see this one I used a charm pack to have lots of different fabrics in this pillow. For this original pillow that I did, I had one fabric for the base and one fabric for the window. So you can choose whatever pattern you like. So that's the cathedral window. And the next folded technique I'm going to show you is a folded triangle. And I'm going to tip this up so you can see. This is the wall hanging completed with the folded triangle, all ready for the 4th of July. And each one of these squares is made up of 4 different triangles. And again, you're going to need fabric glue, pins, etc. And again, I spray starch before I cut my squares. You can change the size of your squares by changing the size of your triangles. So for instance, these blocks are 6-inch finished. So of course, with my 1/4-inch seam allowance, they were 6.5 inches before I sewed them together. So my squares that make my triangles are also 6.5 inches. Here's one I did using 2 different fabrics, and these squares were 3 inches. So my finished square here is 3 inches. And you can see as I paired them together, they make another square. Square and a square. Okay. Whoops. Okay, here we go. So you can start. When I did that table topper, I had a variety of fabrics. So you can do it with a jelly roll, not a jelly roll, but a layer cake. So I cut my squares for that table runner. They were 6.5-inch squares. You're going to fold them so that you have a folded edge here, and I press them. Then you're going to take whatever 4 squares you want for your block and lay them down on the table. Square number 1 or triangle number 1 goes down first. Again, all of the folded edges will be towards the center. Then fabric number 2 lays on top of that. So you can see it covers up part of that square, but makes it a triangle, but makes a smaller triangle. Fabric number 3 lays on top of that. And then the last one is fabric number 4, which lays on top of that and tucks in under number 1. Now at this point, you want to make sure that all of your points come together in the corner so that you have a nice square. So you can either pin or use the fabric glue to baste so that you have your square. Then, just like we did with the cathedral window, you're going to take a bar tack here in the middle. So back and forth, top to bottom a couple of times on your machine or by hand if you'd like to do it by hand. And then stay stitch all the way around the outside edge of your square. So then you're ready to put your rows together. And when you put your rows together, you're going to have a choice about how they finish. Now, this one has a traditional finished edge, so the seams that are on the inside. If you wanted to have a raggy look, you would put the wrong side together. And so this would be an open seam. And as you wash it, it's going to fluff up, kind of like chenille. So you have a choice between a standard finished edge or a raggy look, whichever you choose. And then once you get your blocks sewn in rows, you can add your borders, inner border and outer border. So that's the 2 different techniques for folding fabrics. So you have pillows, pin cushions, quilts, or a table topper like we did. Before I go, there's a couple of new panels that we've just gotten in for the USA that I'd like to share with you. The first one is this fabric of all the states, and you can see each state is individualized with the capital of the state and then something significant about the state. So for instance, for South Dakota, you can see there's Mount Rushmore, and Wyoming has a cowboy, and of course California has surfers, and Oklahoma has oil wells, and Texas has the Alamo. So there's a lot of different.
Okay, I think Suzanne has
Um,
frozen
there we
up.
go.
Oh, there
Okay,
you go.
so sorry, internet is up and down in our rural area, unfortunately. I don't know if you saw that panel, so I'm going to show you real quick. One United
Perfect.
States, and here's the last one. This is more patriotic 4th of July-ish issue for folks getting ready for the holiday. You can see that the map of the United States is overlaid by our flag, and there's color on color eagles and stars, and then around the top and the bottom we have some patriotic blocks that are good. You can make a smaller table topper or mug mats, mug rugs, individual hangings, lots of options here. And I'd like to hope that all of you folks in the Colorado, Denver area will go to the show next week and then come to see us in August 12th through the 14th in Sacramento. Actually, it's going to be in Roseville. This will be our first show back after the pandemic, and we're so excited to see all of our regular customers from Sacramento. So we'll hope everybody comes. There's going to be a lot of wonderful vendors and classes. So don't miss the opportunity to get out and get inspired again. So thank you all for visiting us, the Calico Cupboard. Check out our website, thecalicocupboardstore.com, and we hope to see you soon. So remember, keep calm and stitch on.
Perfect. That was a good intro. You said all the things I was going to say. So now you've done my job. I don't have to say it. No, thank you so much. And they are loving the comments. They're loving all those panels. So remember, you can go to the Calico Cupboard, and until midnight on Thursday, you can get 15% off of all of those panels, correct?
Correct.
Okay. All right. Well, we will bring you back. Stay on the line, and we'll bring you back at the very end
Okay.
for any questions
All right.
that anybody has. All right, so I want to just remind you that we are working virtually through the internet, and so we're reliant on the service that we have, and a lot of our vendors are working from their homes or their studios, so it is very, a lot of us are in rural areas, so internet sometimes is a little bit shoddy, but when we have a problem, we'll move on to the next vendor and bring that vendor back. So just bear with us. We are all trying to bring you the best experience possible. And I know that you girls are all waiting. Well, there might be gentlemen also. You're all waiting for the code word, which we do have a code word today. We've got 4 or 5 great prizes. We've got Quilters Haven, Raylene, always donating prizes. Thank you, Raylene. The ladies love them. I think they sign up. They sign in to listen to us just so they can get the door prizes. And Linda Winter has rectangle templates with fussy cut frames. So there's lots of fun prizes. Barbara who's going to be next. I can't wait to see what she has because I'm a food person. She has, let's see, an assortment of goodies, and then Suzanne from the Calico Cupboard has a selection of patterns. But first, I want to remind you that we will be live Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday next week from Denver, from the show floor. So if you're anywhere near Denver, or you can hop on a plane and come join us, all of us vendors would love to see you. We've got tons of new vendors that are going to be in Denver, so we're going to have a lot of new interviews next week. Let's see, what else? It's going to be 2:00 Pacific time, 3:00 Denver time. And we will be at the Arapahoe Fairgrounds. If you're local, make sure you join. If you have any questions, send us an email or something, and we will get you all of the details. And let's see. Okay, so the code word is Denver. I'm just going to say that. Just enter once. Don't enter 20 times because we're only going to put you into the drawing once. And make sure that you claim your prizes because we're busy on the road. We don't have time to track you down. So claim your prizes. Come back to the Wild Wednesday Live and on the logo, and Raylene will post the winners. And I'm just going to turn it right on over to Barbara from Bella Mama's Biscotti. Are you there?
I'm here.
This is exciting. This is the first time that we've had you on the show, so it's always fun to see a new face. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Tell us what you've got.
All right. Well, first I want to introduce you to Bella Mama. This is my mother. This company is created for her memory. That's her on the box. So this is Rosina. That is the Bella Mama. So we started out with biscotti. If anybody doesn't know what a biscotti is, let's pull one out. It's a hard cookie that's been baked twice. It's low fat, low in sugar, so you don't have any guilt problems. You can soak them, put them down into your coffee, tea, milk, hot chocolate, wine, anything you like to drink, and they soften up but not fall apart so that you can just bite into them. We have all different, we have 29, I believe, different flavors of toppings and batter for our biscotti. They come in a dozen or they come singular, but a dozen is a baker's dozen, so you always have a 13th one that comes with you when you order, and that's a flavor that we'd like you to try. So that's how we started with the Bella Mamas, and then we moved on to adding in our cookie muffins. So they're cookie muffins because they're an inverted biscotti. They're not double baked, they're soft, but the top part is a cookie. Here. So you've got a nice crisp little cookie on the top, all sugared and everything, and a soft muffin on the inside. And all the toppings you see here are inside the muffin, rather on the outside. So the best way to eat them, you can eat them just as they are, but the best way is to put them in your microwave. The big muffins, 15 seconds. The smaller mini muffins, I'd say probably 3 to 5 seconds, if that. And they just get all warm and gooey inside, and they're really good. Now we've also added our cookies, our line of cookies. Everything's based off of the biscotti menu, the flavors that we use. That's what is put into this. So they're soft and chewy cookies. That's our newest addition. That, and we now have our own private line of coffee. I don't know if you can see it, but we've got coffee beans that are vanilla, chocolate, and hazelnut toned, so you get the little notes in there when you're brewing. We have dark roast. They come in 40 ounces. Half calf, that's me. I can't take the full caffeine. And decaf. And I don't have any right here, but we do have Italian espresso. Okay. What else can I tell you about this? We're going to be in Denver next week, 8th, 9th, and 10th. There'll be a coupon in the handout that they give you when you walk into the show. So you can find our coupon. I couldn't remember my booth number. I'm either 920 or 921, but both of these booths are me. Crawford Designs and Bella Mama. We're the same people. So write that number down. You can come and tell me that you saw me on the Wild Wednesday, and I'll give you a nice surprise. We're going to have Angela, who is my niece and my barista. She's going to be there with coffee samples for you to try, samples of everything that we have. And she'll just help you out. She's going to teach you how to make espresso if you want to learn how to make espresso. And we have a Make It, Take It with my granddaughter, Antonia, who's going to be doing what is it called? A pocket coaster. Now, that doesn't mean it's something that you put in your pocket. It's a coaster that has a pocket inside of it that carries your sugars or Splenda or stevia, whatever it is that you use in your coffee. So I think it's going to be a great show. I'm glad we're back out on the road. I hope you come and see me. I know it's a short little spot here, but I think I've run out of things to say. Remember that they're low fat, low sugar, they taste good, and come and see me.
Perfect. There's one question. Do you have any gluten-free?
I do.
Perfect.
We'll have gluten-free cookie muffins and biscotti.
Perfect. And you ship them in case they're not going to make it to Denver. They can come in. They can go on your website and order them.
Right. We have a website, bellamamas.com.
Perfect.
Anything you want on there, and we'll get it to you.
Perfect. Okay, well, stay tuned because we're going to have questions and answers after we interview Linda. All right. Fabulous. I'm looking forward to some treats next week. I don't know. I might have to spend more time on the treadmill. That'd be horrible. All right. We'll see you in a bit. Okay, so I want to remind you that you can go to www.quiltcraftsomall.com and print out the coupons ahead of time. Not all of the vendors offer coupons available at the show, but a lot of the vendors do. So go to the website. I think you're going to click on Denver, and that will give you the coupons for the Denver show. And then it's hard. Sometimes you guys type in comments faster than I can read them, but I'm so excited. We had a gal on there that went to Oklahoma City with her girlfriends, and they said there was enough stuff to keep them busy for all 3 days. That's super exciting because, as a vendor, we're kind of out of practice. And so starting up shows, I'm glad we're getting it all together. All right. So horrible, but worth every bite. I know. Ugh. Okay, I'm excited for the goodies. So for those of you that are new, you can always, if you ever miss a show, you can go to our YouTube channel and you can see anything that's happened in the past, which is good because we're always doing tips and tricks and techniques. If you didn't enter for the drawing because you didn't hear the code word, all you have to do is just type in Denver and that will get you entered. But in a couple of hours, you have to come right back here to Wild Wednesday Live and check to see if you were a winner. We don't track you down. So if you're a winner, it will tell you what to do. And let's see, what else? So many things to say. I'm so excited. We're almost ready for the Denver show. If you aren't going to be able to make the Denver show, tune in at 2 on Pacific Standard Time on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. We will be interviewing I think everybody we're interviewing is new faces. So that's kind of exciting for me because I learn a lot from the vendors also because usually we're so busy in our booth. So it's fun to get out and interview and see what's going on in the rest of the world at the show. All right, so the next person we have is Linda Winter. She is one of my favorite designers and teachers, and she has the most enthusiasm you are ever going to see in a teacher. So be sure you're listening. Don't try to multitask because you're going to need everything to focus on Linda. Is Linda there?
Linda is here. Hey,
okay, welcome. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. It's good to see you. And I love being a part of Wild Wednesday Live. It's so much fun. So this week I am showing things you can do from the lowly rectangle, a simple rectangle shape. There's just nothing to it. But here's the problem. When you guys make whatever it is that you're doing with rectangles, maybe you're cutting, moving the ruler, cutting, moving the ruler, cutting, repositioning. Every time you do those, rectangle layers don't come out exactly the same. So this week I decided to focus on projects that can be done with a rectangle. Now, of course, I've got rectangles in all different sizes, configurations. This is a rectangle. You can see from the back side, this is a rectangle. I've got big ones, I've got small ones, so I've got all different sizes. So what I want to show you is this stuff that's on the back, why it's so good. Those of you that know Martelli and that know me, Winter Designs, you know our no-slip material. So when I place this down here, I've got just 4 layers today, just because I don't like wasting the fabric, but I make a cut, I turn the template. When I turn the template, the no-slip material that's on the back side, that's grabbing it. So you can see I'm not repositioning anything. I'm just moving as I go. And when I move as I go, that's going to give me, if I start right at the beginning, that's going to give me all of those cuts exactly the same. So all of this stuff underneath, these 4 layers that I have here, but 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, you can do up to 10 layers. They're all going to be exactly the same because of the no slip. So rectangles are not see-through. None of our stuff is see-through. So we make fussy cut frames. I want to show you one of the favorite projects that I did during the pandemic. Remember those days? Thank you, Lord, that maybe they're behind us. I made face masks and I used the rectangle to make face masks. Why? I didn't want to do pleats because the pleats ended up killing my sewing machine. After I was pleating and breaking needles, I was sick of this. So a simple rectangle, when you put this on, I'm not going to put it on because Zeke tells me it's going to mess up the mic and y'all are going to hear horrible things. But this down here, it goes across your neck. This is going to gather up. Why am I telling you this? Because they're saying wear face masks. Crazy enough, we might still have to wear face masks. But do you see how I've got this little lady here focused in the center of the project? So that's a fussy cut. A fussy cut frame. So I've got little eyes here. What I'm going to do is place this frame down here because again, it's not see-through. And you can see I'm looking and I see right there. Maybe that's what I like. And I'm going to take the coordinating template. I've got 5.5 by 6.5. When I get this centered, and I know it's upside down to you guys and to me too, I'm going to place this inside. When that goes inside, just simply pop the fabric. And there we've got it. And now I could cut this out. So I could make a face mask, but more importantly, I could make a cute little makeup bag out of that. So a cosmetic bag. The 5.5 by 6.5 and the 5.5 by 7.5, these guys, you guys have seen me before do this. If you've seen me at all, these make the little tissue holders. So it makes a cute little tissue holder. And this one is exactly the same as this one. They're just different fabrics that are inside versus outside. So when we look at this, I've got purple that is my binding, a faux binding right here. And then you can see here, I've got the inside. I've got a thread on there too. That inside here is what we see on the outside. So it's just a matter of deciding which one you want it to be. So these guys right here are made from these templates. The 7.5 gives me the purple, and the 6.5 gives me the florals, all of this here. So those guys make this, but I found a really cute project. You guys know what's inside here, right? So these clips that are inside of here, I made this cute little bag. This little bag, if you're going on the road, I have taken these clips, you know, they're the Wonder clips, but the Wonder clips are really expensive. So Martelli sells wide mouth clips. And if you guys are Martelli customers and you already have these, make yourself a little bag out of these rectangles. This is mesh. And mesh is not the easiest to sew with. It's not the easiest to cut. But boy, our rotary cutter loves it, and so does this stuff. And you just need to use a heavy duty needle in your sewing machine so you don't break your needles. But basically what I did with this one is the back side is the 7.5. And you can see I flipped it over to the front. Then I added my zipper, and this piece is the 6.5. So I took this guy here for the front, and I took this guy, the one that's an inch bigger, for the back side. And then I just added my zipper. This, because it's mesh, it's going to hold nice and sturdy. I can hear and see what's inside of there. And then I added a piece of the mesh for a little handle too. So if you want to have these hanging next to something, if you want to put a carabiner on this and clip it to one of your sewing bags or whatever it is, then you're ready to go. Now, if you wanted to give some of those gorgeous biscotti treats, oh my God, I want to win that gift. I mean, seriously, that's not fair that I'm looking at what she's doing, the coffee, and I'm thinking they care about what I'm going to do. I want that stuff. Anyway, if you're going to put some biscotti in as a nice little gift, well, wouldn't this be a cute way to give that? So how did I get the bottom? I know I'm talking about rectangles, but I also want to tell you in combination, these are my box it, square it, place it template sets. I have a really good video on this, but I didn't show this project. What these guys do here, there's 5 templates and they have 10 measurements. So this with this, I'm going to place this over here so you can see. Right in the corner there. Do you see if I put that on the corner and I were to cut in and in, that's a 1-inch box pleat. If I cut up here and cut up here, that's a 2.5 inch, 2.25 inch box pleat. I've got 1 inch all the way up to a 5-inch box pleat. So you do this corner the same as you do this corner. If you've made any projects with box pleats or you've looked at any of my old stuff that I did before I came out with these, you'll notice my left side doesn't match my right side. If there's a lining, the lining doesn't match the outside. So these guys make everything perfect because of the no slip material, and then also because of this cut mark that's inside of here. This cut mark that's inside of there, our rotary cutter goes right inside there, and our rotary cutter goes right inside there. It's amazing technology. I cannot believe that we came out with this stuff that allows you to cut a corner and not have your rotary cutter stopping right about here. Because of those cut marks, you can do corners. So they're perfect every time. So you can add a box pleat on your project like I did here, or you don't have to. So fun little gift for you to make. Here's another one. I used vinyl. Vinyl is a whole lot of fun. You've got vinyl that gives you a color, but you've got see-through vinyl. Maybe you guys have been playing with vinyl, but this is, again, a rectangle that I cut. I put a zipper down the middle. I added some cute little doodads, and then box pleats on the bottom. My box pleats there, match my box pleats there. So I've got everything consistent. What do I have inside of here? Some of my favorite fat quarters. If I were going to give this to somebody as a gift, well, what a cool gift that is. I'm not giving this away. Those are my favorite fat quarters, some of my favorites. So I'm keeping them. And I think that's so cute because that's Lily, my little dog. Not little, she's 60 pounds. She's heavy. That same thing that I showed you is basically this. but no box pleat. So when you're cutting these out with rectangles, the rectangles, again, the size that you need, I can sew vinyl very quickly and easily, and I can cut vinyl very quickly and easy. Because it's vinyl, I don't need a lining, which is really cool. So these guys here are all the same. If you notice, the zipper is down the middle. Just reposition the zipper. This is like the red one that I did, but I didn't do the box pleats, and I used a different size rectangle. I went landscape instead of portrait. So you can see how varied this is. Change your little doodads that you have, and this becomes a great little thing to clip on a guy's backpack, to have for them to put on their belt. When you're going to a festival, an outdoor festival, and you don't want to carry their stuff, you say, I made you something, so I'm not carrying your stuff anymore. So that clip right there, it's the same as this, just repositioning those zippers. Same thing with this. You guys have probably made zipper bags, but if you're making these as gifts, what do we put in here? We've got our wipes, we've got our sanitizer. We still need this stuff. I hate to say this is going to be a part of our life, but this is a great gift for you to whip out, not one, but 10, 20, whatever. And if you notice here, this is a zipper. Why do I have that zipper there? Because I like to buy longer zippers than I really need. And instead of cutting them and feeling like I'm throwing them away, we're going to use that as the handle. But every time you cut these out, because you're using the no slip material, they're all going to be exactly the same. Here's another one that I showed many, many weeks ago, maybe even months ago. This is a little popcorn bag. Why is it called a popcorn bag? Because it pops up. I put inside of here one of those cute little medicine cases. So if you're going on the road, or if you have somebody that just got diagnosed with whatever and they've got to take pills, or somebody that isn't taking their pills, make them a little popcorn bag and then put this inside of there. Again, it pops up. The rectangle is what makes this fast and easy and what makes that zipper consistent too. So face masks, when you go to my website and you look for the rectangles, you're going to see a little kid size, a little bit bigger kid size. That's almost an adult. This is almost an adult, almost an adult. You can see these are sizes that I made for the face masks. Why am I showing you these? Because I'm going to be in the future taking the face masks that I made that I didn't do anything with, and I'm going to make bags out of these. I'm going to make zipper bags. I'm going to make cosmetic bags. I'm going to make doggy treat bags. I'm going to make purses out of these. I don't know if you guys made a lot of face masks and you didn't use all those face masks. I'm going to show you how to put them to use. I think it's so cool. It's the best recycling method. You spend a lot of time making these things, and maybe you didn't give them all away, or if you were selling them, we're going to put them to good use. So look for those too. All right, so remember the little zipper bags that I showed you? Here's another one. Box pleats here. This has a little doodad with the paper clip on there. And I just pulled the paper clip off. Well, how do you like that? That is from the Dollar Tree, so that does happen. But guess what? There's fabric glue that you can use. But you can see inside of here, again, wet wipes there. I love changing up the sizes. I have bigger templates. What do we have inside of here? More stuff. Another big pill box, some Kleenex, tissues, hand sanitizer. This is felt that has been laminated. They have that peel off laminated material that you can buy. And why do I want it with the felt? Because with the felt, I've got a finished edge that looks nice inside, and it's stiff, so it's sturdy. And again, box pleats. Same process here I used for this, but no box pleat. You're going to a workshop, you're going to a school, you're going to a friend's house, you're whatever it is, and you've got to take notes. You've got a journal, you've got a diary, you've got a Bible, you've got your favorite book. You can make this according to the size of your book. What do we have inside of here? All the things that you need. The little sticker tape so you can flag your favorite pages, reading glasses, sticky notes, a yellow highlighter, a pen. There's another highlighter in there. I've got a jump drive just in case I'm going to be doing anything on the computer. And then I need some treats. I think Biscotti would be a whole lot better inside of here, don't you guys? So the idea of this going around that notebook, if I can stick everything back in here real fast, it's around the notebook. And what I used was a headband. a headband that we put right inside there. So lots of fun with these. There are more projects like that you can do. This is the vinyl again, and you can see just another tag here, but this time it's another headband that's elastic. So all of these are done from rectangles. Let's go smaller. I don't like carrying a purse. So this right here has my driver's license and my credit card inside of here. This clip I'm going to change out because this is bigger than what I really want, but I'm going to attach it to my cell phone. This is what I wear. I'm going to attach this. So I have with this little clip right here, everything that I need, maybe even put a little lip gloss in there. But these are rectangles and they're super fast and easy to make too. Scrappy projects. If you've done any scrappy projects, I know you have scraps. There are tons of leftovers that you have. You just stitch them together on some kind of a whatever it is, fusible, fleece, or whatever it is. And then on the back side, you can see I've just pieced 4 blocks together, not symmetrically because I don't want it to look too matchy-matchy. I used my same scraps inside, but a cute little bag. And again, the zipper here as the tie. Rectangles will make this fast and consistent. All right, so you guys know kitchen stuff. Placemats. Guess what? We make rectangles big enough to make placemats. So all your placemats will be exactly the same. Everybody always asks me to make a pot holder handle. It's a rectangle with Velcro and you stick it on there. So this, where you place the Velcro, is going to be adjusted to the pan that you're using, that handle that you use. We don't need to do some fancy whatever. This you can stick right on there. And if you need to do 2 pieces of Velcro, like I did for this guy right here, y'all might have remembered I showed you my can cozy and I said, don't look at the labels because I had some alcoholic things that were there. But do you see how I have several pieces of Velcro? I have a bottle here, but if you had a can, we'd want it to be a little bit bigger for the can. Same thing with this, with your pan. If you needed to, for your handle, to put another strip on here, we're going to do the soft stuff on here so that way it can be adjustable even smaller if you want to. So pots and pans holders, so that's a fun one to do too. Diaper holders, diapers, all of those things are done from rectangles. We're starting with the rectangle. I have a set of templates called round offs. There's radiuses that I have. You have 12 radiuses that come with the round offs. So you can round off your corner. So the left corner and the right corner, they're exactly the same. Same thing with all the little doggy stuff. If you've got a doggy doo-doo bag, you need to put the little plastic bags in there and you want to add another pocket in there. It's just a rectangle and then round it off. I love if you're a quilter that you've taken some of those leftover quilt blocks that you've worked on, and we're going to use a rectangle to cut this out. I'm basically cutting 3 layers. Fold your quilt, you're piecing, and then we're going to cut out 3 of those, and then we're going to square up here with my round offs. And we're just stitching all of these sides together, so we don't need to even do anything fancy. Same thing with this. There's a zipper at the top. It's just like all the other bags, but this is a half hexie that I have. It looks like hexagons. But if you look close, there's a seam right here. No dreaded Y seam. I'm not a big dreaded Y seam person. Eyeglasses, it's rectangles and then curves. So simple, simple. Another bag done with rectangles, box pleats there. You've got a pocket, so you can add more stuff to it. If you're a part of Martelli's stuff that we're doing, our retreat that we've got coming up, quilt as you go, a rectangle, quilt as you go, quilt as you go. Those are really fast. How am I doing on time? Because I have a whole bunch more stuff to show you. Give me a holler out. Is my time up? Or Zeke and I both forgot to talk about time. We are never good at time. So tell me how I'm doing on time. Am I done?
Well, we have a little bit of extra time today, so you got like 5 more minutes.
Oh, perfect. Okay. So I made this bag years ago, and it was one of the first things that I made with Martelli's ruler. So we had our rulers that are no slip. I cannot wait to start making these with our rectangles. So this, why do I love this so much? It's all of my upholstery scraps. I love doing pillows that are seasonal, but all those scraps that are there, and do you see all of this? G and Sherry, that are part of Martelli's educators, they've been doing all kinds of free motion quilting. You can see I didn't have a lot lot of talent then. Still don't have a whole lot of talent, but that's the whole point of this. And you can add a pocket. You can see how beat up this is, but this is a pocket from a sweater. But this would be a whole lot of fun to make with rectangles and with my box pleats, the box bottoms. Another cute bag. This guy, I've made several versions of it out of different materials. And where are all of those bags? They're in a box that is lost on the way back from Reno, along with several other projects I wanted to show you. This is one of my favorite projects to make, the hum bag that holds a rotary cutter. This holds a 60 millimeter. This one holds the 45 millimeter. You can see it's a little bit smaller. All we're doing is cutting our rectangle. We're going to put a zipper down the middle, and then we're going to be stitching this side that away, and it's hard to tell. We're going to stitch that down, and we're going to stitch that up. That creates the little hum bag, but it starts with the rectangle, and you can, again, choose the size of rectangle that you want. Here's one done with just one piece of vinyl. No worries about your seams because it's going to be nice and finished, or finished enough, and look how cute that is. Last couple things I'll show you, water bottles. Okay, on the bottom, I cheated. There's a circle, but this is a rectangle. So if you all are hot and miserable, like everybody is in the country right now, rectangles to make this and a circle on the bottom, and then your straps in whatever way you want. So same thing with this here, a circle at the bottom, but it's just a rectangle around, a rectangle around. What I love about this, if I can pop that out, do you see how I've got a circle here and I've got a circle and that goes in so I can change these out. Okay, so thank you guys for watching all of my ideas. I've got just a stack of the rectangles here, fussy cuts behind me. I've got bigger sizes even than that. Tonight, I'm going to be marking down all of my rectangles like this, and I'm marking them down at a really good price. Plus, you get a 20% coupon code that's good through Friday night at 11:59 Central Time. So we're 2 hours ahead of most of you guys. So make sure you head to my website later on, not right now because I haven't done all the pricing yet. I started and it's like taking me hours and hours. So I'm going to mark down all of my rectangles that are there for you. So make sure you take advantage. And then please go like me on Facebook and follow me on YouTube. I have 201 videos for you on YouTube that'll show you a lot of the projects that I've done here. And I always do giveaways on my Facebook page too. So I look forward to seeing you there. Thank you guys so much for letting me be a part of this. I hope I gave you some ideas of why you need to get those plain old rectangles out and start playing with them. Thanks.
Thank you, Linda. It's always so inspiring because you always come up with great ideas that are so simple, quick, and fast.
Yeah,
and I love
that's the goal.
Exactly.
Fast
well,
and easy.
Exactly. And I love that recycling and reusing the masks because all of us have extras. It's kind of crazy.
I can't wait to show you some of those projects. They're going to be fun.
Perfect. All right. Hang on a second. We're going to bring all the vendors back for questions and answers.
Right.
And I just want to remind everybody that you can go to www.SewQuilt Mall. It'll be scrolling down at the bottom in a second. And if you're going to the Denver show, you can print out your tickets in advance so you don't have to wait in line. And you can print out the coupons that the different vendors are offering. But right now is your opportunity watching us to ask any questions that you have from any of the vendors. So go ahead and type those right in. Linda, why did you put the zipper on the outside of the bag?
On which one?
Oh,
no, I've got so many bags where I put the zippers on the outside. Let's see. This one here, I'm thinking it's not this one, but this here, you can see I actually do have the zipper on the outside because it's a decorative zipper here, but I'm sure that's not what you're talking about. That's another decorative zipper. That way you've got a really nice, simple finished back. But I'm not sure which project you're asking about. Type it in the comment. Give me a little more description, and then later on I'll go back and I'll answer it after we finish up with this.
She says it was long, not sewn in.
Long, not so. Oh, on the outside, yeah, as a handle.
Oh,
so
okay.
This does a handle. Do you see this right here? I have to make that handle. I don't want to sew that together. I have to buy the ribbon. I had the extra zipper left over from a project. You'd throw it away because it's only so long. So instead of throwing it away, let's put it to good use. Great question. It's kind of like, why would you do that? But I've seen it done at other places. So here's my zipper. And if I use this much of my zipper for a project, this is going to be thrown away. I simply am going to fold that over, and then that becomes just a little clip that I can put on. I have nothing in front of me, but I mean, I could even put it on my little bag like this, put it in the seam so I can grab this and have it hanging. So it's just another cool way to use something that we would normally throw away.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And are the muffins and cookies the same flavors as the biscottis?
Yes, they are.
Perfect.
They're inverted biscotti, so they're all the flavors we have. You can get into the muffins, even the cookies.
Okay. And will there be biscottis at the Sacramento show? Are you just in Denver, or are you?
I'm just doing the Denver show.
Okay, so Carolyn, you're gonna have to mail order those. Let's see. Linda, will you be at the Sacramento show? We've got lots of Sacramento people watching.
I wish. We have so many things going on here at Martelli. Right now I'm in Martelli's filming studio. We have so many things going on that I'm not able to do the show. We've got a retreat, we've got workshops, we've got pregame. I'm really missing all of the Rusty Barnes shows that I used to just love. They were my favorite. So I'm not sure how many shows I'm going to be able to do this year at all, but I won't be there.
Bummer.
Yeah.
But everybody can go to your YouTube channel and keep connected and follow you and see what's going on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, let's see. Oh, Raylene says there will be Terry Sue's Toffee in Sacramento, so you guys will still have goodies available. And we just want to remind you to share the Facebook Lives and our YouTube channels, because the more people that watch, the more vendors and the more exciting it's going to get. And I think it's just going to snowball. So share, and make sure that you go and print. Kathleen, we already answered that question. Are any of your items gluten-free?
Yes, everything. Yeah, we do gluten-free on everything. We have both. We're all right.
Okay, perfect. And do they need to clarify that when they're ordering?
Yes. They can email me and say, listen, I've got gluten problems. That's all I need to know.
Okay, perfect. And then Suzanne, do you have a pattern for the cathedral pillow?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
It's on the website.
Perfect. So pretty much you guys were such great vendors that we don't have too many more questions. But I want to remind you all that we will be in Denver. We'll be live from the show floor Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of next week at 2:00 Pacific Standard Time. Lots of new vendors that we're going to be interviewing. But I want to remind you that to come into Raylene with Raylene's booth, Quilters Haven, and Fabric Chicks, and tell us that you get wild with us on Wednesdays. We both have 2 different gifts to give you. So for those of you that are coming to Denver, please come in and see Raylene and myself, Quilters Haven and Fabric Chicks booth. And then Suzanne, go ahead and show the pattern so that they know what to look for.
Oops. I don't know if you can see it well enough.
Yep, I think they can see it. Okay, so there is definitely a pattern for you girls to order.
Yeah, it makes a pillow or a quilt.
Perfect. Okay, well, we want to welcome you for joining us today, and we will see you next week. Well, I'll see all of you guys live in Denver, but we'll see all of you who are watching live on Wednesday during setup. So you're going to get kind of a behind the scenes of what goes on during setup. Will you guys be in Southern California anytime soon? We will be in Inland Empire in September. So yeah, go and follow us on Facebook, and you can get our whole schedule. All right, thank you so much, and we will see you guys next week. Have a creative week. Do
Bye,
something
everyone.
fun.
Bye.
Remember to come back and check for if you're the winner for the prizes.
Yeah.
All righty.